Now we shall look at generics in Swift. Write a name inside angle brackets to make a generic function or type. Here we are creating a function makeArray with a generic type of item. This function creates an array with the type passed to it as an item, and the number of elements in the array will be equal to the integer value passed to it in number of times. On line 12, we are calling the function makeArray with the string knock and number of times as 4. Now since we are passing a value of string to this function, this item placeholder will be considered as string, and now you can read the whole function by replacing the item placeholder type to be of string type. So the item parameter will be string, the return type will be an array of string. Here a string array will be initialized and the result will be an array of strings. Here we are passing the value knock of type string and number of times as 4. We can see on the right hand side that an array of 4 elements has been created with the string knock. You can make generic forms of functions and methods as well as classes, enumerations and structures. Here in this sample code, we are simulating the optional type in Swift. On line 17, we are declaring an enum optional value of type wrapped, having two cases, none and some with associated value of type wrapped. On line 21, we are declaring a variable possible integer of type optional value and giving it a type int. Once we specify type int, we can look at this enum to be of type int. Wherever wrap is specified, you can replace it with int type. So some will have an associated value of int type. On line 21, we are giving an initial value to possible integer to be of case none, and on line 22, we are changing that value to be of case sum with an associated value of 100. Use where keyword right before the body to specify a list of requirements. For example, to require the type to implement a protocol, to require two types to be the same, or to require a class to have a particular superclass. Now let's take a look at the sample code given below. We have declared a function AnyCommonElements which takes in two arguments of type sequence and tells us whether there is any common element. Here the two arrays passed are array of integers, and there is a common element 3 in both the arrays, hence the value returned is true. The function AnyCommonElements has two placeholders t and u of type sequence. The function takes two arguments of type t and u. Both the arguments can be called without a label since we are using underscore, and internally the arguments will have label names LHS and RHS. We can see that we are calling this function without the label names. We are specifying additional requirements to this function call by using the where keyword. We are specifying that the first placeholder t and its associated type element should be of equatable type, and the data type for t and U should be same. We can see here that the protocol sequence has an associated type element. So when we say t.element, we are referring to its associated type. Writing t colon equatable is the same as writing t and writing t colon equatable after the where keyword. Here in this sample code, instead of specifying the requirement that t should be of type sequence, we could have written t comma u here and written t colon sequence comma u colon sequence after the where keyword. To summarize, a successful call to the function any common elements requires that all these requirements should be met. Type t should be sequence, type u should be sequence, t's associated type element should be equatable, and t's associated type element should be same as u's associated type element. And when we pass two arrays on line 38, all these requirements are successfully met. T and U being the two arrays passed as arguments. Here we can see that the data types are same in both the arrays.